Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes are sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade, sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. There's a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Stack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Michigas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes are sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
What's up, my friends? What is up? What's up? All right, when I'm up later than the glare and he can't even make it because he's going to fall asleep, I'm doing something right. Hi, guys. I missed you so much. Oh, look at Kindergarten Cop and Little Cupcake are awake. Wow, I didn't know. I'm in California. If you know, you know. So, hung out with my boyfriend Dave Matthews last night because he played at the Forum, and I was like 10 feet away from him all night as per usual. Listen, he's been following me around since college, so why should I stop now? You know, and I was like almost all the way here. I was like 2/3 of the way here because one of the twins is my girls are starting their second year of college, my twins, and so you know everyone moves off campus. Oh, year two. In a hotel. Can you tell? And I also think it's haunted. And so I had to, move her into her new pad in Colorado. So I was like almost here. So I was like, okay, well, my boyfriend's going to be at the Forum in LA. So I might as well, check it out. And plus I have family here anyway. So here I am. It was a hop, skip, and a jump. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would see how close I was to Dave last night, again, for the third time this summer. And really, if you're a fan, if you're a Dave Matthews fan, literally, it was my dream set list. Like the first 4 songs were fire. There was not one bathroom song for me. Usually there's always a bathroom song, and it's like you feel like it's safe to go and you're not going to miss anything. Not a bathroom song at all. And he plays for 3.5 hours, no break, no set break. He's not the Grateful Dead. And it was en fuego. The Forum is one of my favorite venues on the West Coast. I also love the Hollywood Bowl. And it's the first time Dave Matthews Band has played the Forum since 1998. So it was so amazing. It was so awesome. And I've missed you. I feel like I thought there's going to be like 14 people here tonight because, we're on a different time zone. But listen, the news doesn't quit. And can you hear me okay? Because I'm like travel mic, travel everything. And as long as you can hear me okay, I think we're good. Listen, this Adelson trial, I mean, first of all, is anybody talking about anything else? Can we talk about something else? Because, got to be honest, Carter is still crushing it hard. And Buddy Strong reposted 2 of my Instagram stories yesterday. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. And I love Buddy. And usually, because I'm always in the pit, because I don't like to sit down, I'm usually on Buddy's side. But this time we were on Dave's, closer to where, the horns are, because we had 2 friends that had early entrance. They got in and they boxed out at the rail, and that's the way we do it. It's the way we do it. And I love it here so much. I love it here so much that I didn't even book my return ticket yet because I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. I could stay here forever. I love it. I love it so much. And I think The Adelson trial. So it started on, what day is today? Today is for posterity, Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. Well, at least it is for me. So I'm on the West Coast. You guys on the East Coast, it is actually after midnight for you. So thanks for hanging out. And I've missed you so. I was in IKEA hell putting together furniture in Boulder and had to run out and get a hammer because some of the IKEA furniture required a hammer. And so I go to Home Depot and they're out of hammers. They're out of hammers. The only hammers they had were like the kind that you use to, like, I don't know, tear down sheetrock, maybe build a house. And so I, hi Colorado, hi Kirsten. So I drove by JonBenét's house because I always do that when I'm in Boulder. I drove by JonBenét's house. I said a prayer, as I always do. And I hear they're reopening the investigation. So we're hoping it's about time that they find JonBenét's killer because it's been too long. I mean, the Boulder police bungled that from jump. And it's time. It's time, JonBenét. We're coming. We're here. Justice for JonBenet. And so much other stuff has been happening that I've had a show planned for days. And I just haven't been able to get on here. And I had to, you know, as I do, bribe the front desk clerk to give me the secret Wi-Fi password so that I can have enough megabytes or megabits or Mbps to stream. And it was literally like, it was 40 Mbps. And I'm like, they put me on with tech support. I thought they were in the hotel. They're like offshore somewhere. They're like, no, 40 is a really good speed. I'm like, no, I don't even think I could watch Netflix on 40. You know it, I know it. But anyway, I did it. Oh, and guess who's staying in my hotel? The entire LA Chargers football team is here. They're here and they're on my floor. And they're on my floor because when I got off the elevator, there's a big Gatorade cooler, you know, like a refrigerator. And it says, for Chargers players only. But every time I go by, I'm grabbing a Gatorade and I'm grabbing a water because they're not going to stop me. And then last night, I saw one of the players in the hall, or whatever night I got here. I don't even remember what day it is anymore. We were hanging out at the bar, and then we came upstairs, or I came upstairs, and I ran into one of the players in the hallway. I said, "Aren't you sleeping in bed?" And he like looked really guilty, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm going." Because I guess they keep all the Chargers here in the same place, even though they'll live here. They keep them in the hotel because I guess it's training camp, and so they have to keep, they have to keep an eye on them. And so then today I had to get something else from the desk clerk, and he's like, "Oh, are there cameras in the hallway up there? Because they have cameras in the hallway." I'm like, "I don't think so." Wait, you were there? Margie, you were there? Oh, thank you. I had the best time. I was in the pit, 10 feet from Dave, like on the horn side, and right in like there was one person in front of me, so I was second row. In the pit, and I love that venue so much, Margie. I love it so much. And then afterwards, anybody who's not from LA is maybe going to think this is weird, but in the parking lot, they sell, and they have like every 5 feet you can buy, wait for it, a bacon wrapped hot dog with peppers and onions. They're all out there cooking them. Once in a lifetime thing. I had one. Best $10 I ever spent. I split it with like 3 other people, so it really wasn't like I had a whole entire bacon wrapped hot dog for myself. And it was fun. It's good. It's fun. Anybody think that's weird, the bacon wrapped hot dog thing? Because the season starts next week. All right, well, they're here, Scott. If anybody wants me to find any of the Chargers for you, they're on my floor. So who knows? Who knows what can happen? It's like dream come true. Dream come true. Venus Blue Crash Batty was just tagging me in TikToks on SNL. Dave Matthews gets, oh my God, so good. It was so good. It was my dream set list. I posted it on my Instagram story. I can't play any of my video for you here on the YouTubes because the YouTube is really strict about music and they won't let me play it. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can see all my video and all of my clips. And oh my God, it was so awesome. It's been a great summer. I think is this my 3rd day show this summer? I think. I was in Jones Beach. I was in Guilford, New Hampshire for one night, and I was here in LA. There may have been another one in there, but this was definitely the best set list I've ever seen, and it's awesome. So I'm here, and I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave, but. All right, so Adelson, snooze fest. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it might be unpopular. Snooze fest. Listen, growing up, I knew a lot of overbearing Jewish mothers just like Donna Adelson, and listen, she's going to get convicted, so why is everybody so excited about this? I don't know. Am I missing something? I Did not watch any of the other trials because I was very busy practicing lawyer at the time and didn't have time for, watching trials so much. And so I didn't watch any of the other trials, admittedly. But am I too spoiled? Watching David Yannetti and Alan Jackson and Bob Alessi, like the stars of the stars of trial lawyers, and then I'm watching this opening statement, and I had to pinch myself to stay awake. Really, I did. It was like, okay, first of all, Georgia Kappelman, I don't know how to pronounce the name. She's really good. Why didn't she do the opening? Who's this other woman? Was she even participating in jury selection? I don't know. And then the other woman who gets up for Donna Adelson looks like she could be Donna Adelson's sister. And I'm like, okay, did she even participate in jury selection at all? Because the whole point of jury selection, for those of you who don't know, is to build a rapport with the panel. You're building rapport with the jurors. And I watched some of the jury selection and I loved it. I loved the way they could really engage with the jurors, and they had all the jurors in the box and they could ask them all questions at the same time, and they could raise their hand, and then they could, they could go through things with each juror, and the other jurors would hear what the other jurors are saying and how they were answering questions, which can be also very dangerous, because if a juror says something highly prejudicial, it can bust the whole panel, and then you got to send everybody home and start all over again with like 100 and something new people. But the man for the defense attorney, the male defense attorney, did jury selection, right? And then this other woman gets up and does the opening for Donna Adelson, and she's like, "Oh, you've never even heard me speak before." And I'm like, "Yeah, whose stupid idea was this? Whose stupid idea was that?" The judge is good. I did watch Nurse Kim's interview with Yannetti, I think. I was busy, but I was watching. I think I was listening to it while I was in the car driving back and forth to IKEA and Target and Costco and Home Depot, Home Sense and TJ Maxx and everything else nobody tells you that furnishing your daughter's college apartment is going to cost you like $100 billion. Nobody tells you that. So I'm here to help. If anybody has kids going to college, ask me. I can give you all the tips and tricks and all the things to do. And then I thought it was a snooze fest. I'm sorry. I don't get the obsession with this trial. Maybe Monday I'll watch Wendy Adelson with you, and that's going to be interesting because, in my opinion, she's behind the whole entire friggin' thing. She's a lawyer, and her interrogation tape, I did watch that, is just really, she like name drops her brother in the first like hour. It was so weird. Oh, are you exhausted from college move-ins too? And it doesn't get easier. They say it gets easier with each kid. It doesn't. It doesn't get easier. It's always sad when you leave. It's so sad when you leave. And so I thought maybe we can talk about something else. Sue says, I agree, this trial's not for me. She's going to get convicted. It's like, it's like the gift that keeps on giving, I guess, for the attorneys, because they get to keep representing people in the Adelson family. Although I guess Charlie's lawyer was like, yeah, no, you can't represent I can't represent, or how did Charlie's lawyer even start representing Charlie's mother? I don't even understand how that happened. How did that even happen? Maybe that's what I should do. Watch Kathy's condensed version. I don't know. I just feel like I can't get into it, but I want to see Wendy testify. I heard Aiden was on before. I don't know if he's still on. If he is, come on over when you're done. And he thinks Wendy Adelson is hot. So I don't know. Is that why people are watching this? Like, I don't get it. I know. I always cry. When I drop my daughters off. I don't even want to talk about it. So everyone's really invested in this Adelson trial. But listen, there's a lot of other shit going on right now. It's Melanie After Dark, so, earmuffs. Yeah, I don't know. What patriotic, you said that. It's the other thing. Public corruption delayed this. What public corruption are we talking about in Florida? How does public corruption play a part in this 11-year-old case? I don't know. Just fill me in on that. Because I know you sent me an email, but I was going to write you back, but I've been just kind of busy. And so how did public corruption play a part in the Adelson trial? That I would like to know. And, I understand Dan Markell was a very well-loved FSU law professor, and everyone wants justice for him. There's already 4 people in jail for the murder. And so I don't know. But some big things have happened, okay? Tyler McCain was arrested for the murder of Nikki McCain. Do you remember we did a show on Nikki McCain a year ago? Nikki McCain is a woman from Shasta County, California, who has been now missing for 15 months. It's a no-body murder case. And she had filed a DV charges against her husband, Tyler. Those charges were pending when she went missing. Then they dropped the case, the DV case, because the DA said, well, we can't prosecute because Nikki McCain is missing. And they did some searches. He lives on a reservation, I think, or he lives on tribal land of some kind. And so they couldn't really get in and search it. I don't remember the details that much, but I have the press conference here that I would like us to watch because this is big news. And the sisters have been relentless in trying to search for Nikki and keep the public interest on the search for Nikki McCain. And so I have the press conference from the Shasta County Sheriff's Office to watch because he's finally been arrested and charged with murder. And then Jesse Weber on Law and Crime did an interview with the two sisters. And did anybody watch that? Because they seems like they were like, oh, we really liked Tyler. We didn't really, think that he was involved. Yeah, it was crazy. It's Shasta County, California. And then Gregory Groom was arrested for the murder of Kaylee Montero out of Rehoboth, Massachusetts. She's been missing. She was pregnant with his baby, apparently. And then there was a search out for that, for Kylie Montero, who had been living at this women's shelter or like a pregnant women's home that Jess Machado is now out there like exposing the horrors that go on at this place. We're going to talk about that. We also have some new news, and a little bit of new news anyway, on the death of Irish native and fashion designer. Why is her name escaping me at this very minute? Hold on. Martha Nolan O'Slatera, who was found on a boat in Montauk on Long Island, where I also live. And Emmanuel Haro, those parents were arrested too. Vicky, because we're in California, so hopefully a lot of you guys are from California because I'm in your time zone. What up? That's horrific. I hate to cover the stories about babies because anybody that could hurt a baby, in my opinion, should just get the chair. I mean, you don't do that. And then this guy, turns out Haro, the father, had been charged in 2018 with severe abuse of a 10-month-old child that he had with another woman. And the baby had like broken ribs, and he tried to blame it all on the ex-wife or the wife or the other woman. It is so horrific. And so both of those parents who made up a kidnapping story, by the way, have been arrested. Justice for Emmanuel. Thank you. And there's a lot of other stuff going on other than Donna Adelson, who, by the way, is just going to get convicted. So I thought that what maybe we could do is talk about all of the other things, since everybody else that you watch is wrapped up in Donna Adelson. Maybe every day during trial, we could do a lunchtime stream and we can talk about all of the other stuff that's going on aside from Donna Adelson. The baby was 10 weeks old. Is that what I said? Did I say 10 weeks? I'm sorry. What did I say? 10 weeks, right? Not 10 months, 10 weeks. You're right. 10 weeks old. One acute fractured rib, several healing fractured ribs, hematoma, like horrible. And like, I can't even talk. I have 5 kids of my own. I cannot even talk about babies and injuries to babies. So when I talk about it, it's going to be surface level because listen, this stuff is heavy. You talk about this stuff all day long and you're just going to be sad all the time. And it's hard. It's hard. He was 10 weeks old. 10 weeks old. Right. And how is he not in prison from the previous baby? Because he blamed it on the wife. And then this woman, who I guess he's married to her now, is, I'm on the West Coast, Sadie. I'm on the West Coast. It's not even 10 p.m. here. Do you know where your children are? If you guys have to go to sleep, I totally understand. Just smash the like button before you go and then come back and watch tomorrow. I get an extra view off of it, right? Right. And then she had the black eye, and the black eye looked old. And she said that somebody accosted her in the parking lot of this, like, I don't know, Big Five or something. And yeah, we can talk about it. Let's talk about it all. There's so much horrible stuff happening everywhere. And Donna Adelson can wait. I mean, I could sit here and I could go through the opening statements with you if you want. And that one guy, the getaway driver who kind of threw Wendy under the bus and said it was Wendy's idea, is that new? Or is that old? Did he testify to that in one of the other trials? He was also offered a deal, right, to come in and testify. So, yep, all of it. First thing, since I have all my West Coast folks here, and you guys have been following this Nikki McCain story for a very long time. Let me see if I have the original missing poster of Nikki McCain, because I know I covered this story a year ago, and then there's been nothing. Nothing has happened in so long. Look at me. I have it. Here's the original missing poster. And I will read it to you for those of you who are driving or on heavy equipment. Be the voice for Nikki, $10,000 reward. And then there was a phone number. It said report tips, Shasta County Major Crimes Unit. It has a phone number. NorCal Alliance for the missing. And they have a tip number. Missing Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain. Isn't she stunning? She's stunning. They have not found her remains or her body. And then there were phone numbers. And we covered this a year ago. She's been missing since May 18th of 2024. And just a few days ago, surprise, surprise, her husband was arrested. Let's take a look at the press conference out of Shasta County, California. It's heartbreaking. Anybody here from Shasta County? I'll put captions on. It's about 17 minutes long, so it's not too long. Let's take a listen.
To them, however, was later 2 days later transferred to the Shasta County Sheriff's Office due to the last time Nikki McCain was seen was in the Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. Detectives immediately started working on the case to locate Nikki and her Chevy Avalanche, which was also missing. Nikki was last seen at the 1700 block of Olinda Road in Anderson on May 18th, 2024, where she resided with her husband, Tyler McCain. A day after taking the missing persons case, detectives served a search warrant at Nikki and Tyler's residence. Various items of evidentiary value were seized as evidence. However, Nikki was not located. On May 25th, 2024, Nikki's vehicle, that Chevy Avalanche, was located by a citizen off of Highway 36 in an area near Platina, kind of on the border of Shasta and Tehama counties. Detectives and crime scene investigators processed the vehicle and located physical evidence which indicated foul play.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Rex Heuermann, the suspected Long Island serial killer, also drove a Chevy Avalanche. Remember? Green Chevy Avalanche. They say that's the preferred choice of car for, I don't know, serial killers. Go figure.
The area where Nikki's vehicle was located was searched extensively by Sheriff's Office employees and our search and rescue teams. But again, Nikki was not located. Since the start of this investigation, detectives and law enforcement and allied agencies have worked tirelessly to locate Nikki and to determine the events surrounding her disappearance. Detectives have served search warrants, conducted numerous field searches, multiple interviews of family members, friends, and acquaintances, all to no avail. We still have not located Nikki. Based on the evidence gathered, information learned from interviews, and the fact that no one in Nikki's family has seen or heard from Nikki since her disappearance, the detectives has determined that Nikki is a victim of homicide. Detectives also further concluded that Nikki's husband, Tyler Scott McCain, is responsible for Nikki's death and disappearance. Detectives recently obtained a murder arrest warrant for Tyler McCain, and today at about 10:15 a.m., Tyler McCain was arrested. He was ultimately booked in the Shasta County Jail.
Praise be. It's been 15 months. It's been 15 months.
With no bail for the murder of Nikki. We'd like to take a moment and thank some of the allied agencies and people involved in the investigation. Shasta County District Attorney's Office, the Reading Police Department, Homeland Security, Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Highway Patrol Investigative Services Unit, and the CHP Multidisciplinary Accident Investigation Team, California Department of Justice, and CAL FIRE Law Enforcement, all instrumental and all contributing to today's day and arrest of Tyler McCain. I also want to take a moment to provide some perspective to the complexity of a case like this, and the longevity and the intense investigation that goes into arriving at a day like today, where we ultimately have an arrest of a murder suspect and a bodiless case, if you will. These cases are layered, meticulous.
They're not impossible, no body murder cases, but they're tough. Do you remember the case of the boys, the West boys? That was also in Northern California. Classic and sincere. That was a very hard case to cover. I covered it with Duty Run. That was before I even had a channel. And that was a no body case. And those parents, those horrific parents, I can't even call them parents, they were monsters, were convicted.
Require months of investigation, hundreds and hundreds of personnel hours, not just from investigators, but from law enforcement boots on the ground, from support services, from forensic evidence, all across the board. It is very labor intensive, and it is crucial that all that evidence is collected, preserved, and processed accordingly to make the case. Despite the scrutiny, criticisms, and the incorrect conclusions that people opine on social media, these detectives and the law enforcement agencies involved continue to work tirelessly on the case. I can tell you that probably every day, with exception of maybe a few, somebody from some agency involved in this investigation was working on the Nikki McCain case. We have worked on this case over her disappearance. We've used search and rescue, we've used volunteers, friends, family, advocates within the community have all contributed and looked in drainage ditches, properties, rural areas, waterways, trying to locate Nikki for the family and trying to give us that next piece in this case. I understand from the outside, for people that are not involved in law enforcement or who are tracking the case, it may seem that sometimes nothing is being done or there's little progress being made. But especially in these public interest cases where emotions run high, people scrutinize and are very quick to judge on what's going on, and they want information. They want us to release details. They want to know what's going on. It's because of the complexity of investigations like this that information and the integrity of the details are not released, because we need to make it to the finish line like we are here today, with an arrest warrant, with a suspect identified, booked into our jail, and we'll continue with a court process, which is crucial that we are able to prove the case and present the evidence and protect that information. There's also one on.
Let me give you a little bit more of a summary, because some people are just tuning in just now and you're not, I guess you didn't hear what I said earlier. Okay, so we put up the missing poster, of course, and Nikki Cheng Saelee McCain was 39 years old when she went missing. She is a Reading mother, I believe, of 3. It doesn't say in this article that I'm reading from. This is KRCR. She disappeared over 15 months ago. Her husband, Tyler McCain, has just been arrested for murder. The Shasta County District Attorney's Office announced the charges, which include 1 count of murder with a special circumstance of intent to prevent testimony, as well as refiling the domestic violence charges from a 2023 case. Remember when we covered this a year ago, we were all really mad because they dropped the DV case, and they've been holding it close to the vest this whole entire time. So they refiled all of those charges against him as well. Nikki Saelee McCain was reported missing by her sister on May 22nd of 2024, after she was last seen at Mercy Medical Center in Redding, California on May 17th of 2024. Her vehicle was found abandoned near the Shasta Tahoma County border on May 25th, 2024, with evidence of decomp and blood confirmed belonging to Nikki. As he just told us, it was a Chevy Avalanche. The district attorney's office said that a confidential informant reported that Tyler McCain admitted to killing Nikki after a DV incident on May 18th of 2024. Investigators found a history of DV between the couple dating back to 2020. Despite exhaustive efforts, Nikki's body has not been located, but authorities have concluded that she is the victim of a homicide. And they go on to talk a little bit about what's happening at this press conference. Tyler McCain's arraignment was, today's what, Saturday? It was yesterday at 1:30 p.m. I tried to find it on Zoom. I couldn't find it. I tried to find someone with a live feed of it. I couldn't find it. So they're keeping it kind of quiet, I guess, or just there's a lot of counties in California that don't televise proceedings. I remember, I think during the West trial, it was audio only, and I think it was on a delay. You guys remind me. It was so long ago. I don't remember. But Tyler McCain is currently being held without bail. And there is, obviously, he pled not guilty. There's a reward of up to $30,000 for any information leading to Nikki's location. They still have not recovered her body. Let's listen to the rest of the press conference. Sorry, I didn't have time to do show notes tonight because I wasn't really sure what we were going to talk about. I have so many things planned that I figured I'll do the show notes after. No, he didn't admit it. He did not admit it. He pled not guilty. The guy who admitted it, that's a different case in Massachusetts. Sorry to confuse you. Okay, here we go.
To address the rumors surrounding the Redding Rancheria and the scrutiny that the tribe faced in people saying that there was a cover-up and they were not cooperating with law enforcement, and this was all part of a bigger conspiracy. I can tell you right now, all those rumors also are false. I am actually here to thank the Redding Rancheria too for their participation and cooperation with us in this ongoing investigation. And then finally, while today marks a significant triumph in justice and holding a suspect to answer for the loss of human life, for Nikki's family, it's just partial closure. It's only one step in the process. Nikki is still not home. Nikki is still out there somewhere, and we want her back. And if you're watching and you have information and you know where she is, please come forward. Please bring that information forward now that this case is at the point that it is, and provide some relief for Nikki's family and help end their agonizing pain and search and let them lay her to rest. For the family and loved ones, I want to tell you that we're all here with you. Our hearts go out to you. And I promise you that we will not give up. We are not done looking for Nikki. We're going to work hard to bring Nikki home.
First, I'd like to thank the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Johnson, and all the detectives that were involved in this investigation for their dedication, their hard work, and their truly collaborative effort over the last 15 months to bring this to a point where we have sufficient evidence to charge Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki Saelee McCain. We decided to do a press conference today to help provide information to the community. I know a lot of people have followed not only her disappearance, but the efforts to locate her, and we have been unable to provide information up until this point. It is my hope that us providing information today will alleviate some of that for the community, but understand that we're only going to release information that is necessary at this point to file a case. We are not going to continue to release information going forward for the same reasons. It's going to be important for us to preserve the integrity of the prosecution, which can take a very long time. These types of cases can take not just months, but years. And that's time that the family will still be working with us and going through this process. And we need to make sure that we preserve the integrity still going forward. We will provide updates after court on what happened in court and future court dates, but we will not be providing additional information about the facts or the investigation outside of what is being provided today. Now, over the course of the last 15 months, numerous agencies, state, federal agencies have put thousands of hours into this investigation. My office as well. We've had 2 prosecutors assigned, multiple investigators, investigative techs, and support staff, and advocates working directly with the family all along the way. And it's important to me to tell you and assure you that we will continue to invest as many resources as we need to in this case to bring justice for Nikki. While, as the sheriff said, her body has not been found, and it is still our hope that she will be located. But under the laws of the state of California, we're not required to have a person's body in order to charge murder. That's what we call a no body homicide case. That is what we filed.
Yeah, Brian Walsh is also a no body murder case out of Massachusetts because Anna Walsh has never been found. They're tough, but not impossible.
And I'm sure many of you are asking, no, we've never filed that type of case in Shasta County before.
Oh, except this is going to be the first no body murder case in Shasta County ever in the history of time. Okay, well, I mean, we were pretty convinced a year ago when we covered this story. So we'll see what they got.
But we are going to work very hard on this case. And to me, despite not finding her body, we have been provided with overwhelming evidence to prove that not only is Nikki dead, but that Tyler McCain is responsible for her murder. Now, I hold in my hand here a criminal complaint. This complaint is going to be filed first thing tomorrow morning, charging Tyler McCain with the murder of his wife, Nikki McCain. Count 1 in this complaint charges murder, but it also has an enhancement that goes with it, that the murder was committed with the intent to prevent testimony. And that's to prevent the testimony of Nikki McCain in the domestic violence case that was pending at the time that she went missing.
All right, that's an enhancement that gives him more time. That entitles him to more time in prison. But also that reminds me of Matthew Farwell. The Matthew Farwell case, he was, they had to get him on federal charges because, you know, the state of Massachusetts thought that Sandra Birchmore committed suicide. But the feds had to bring charges against him. And the only way they could bring murder charges was to say that he murdered her because she was going to testify against him, that she was a witness. That's how they had to get him right. That's real witness intimidation. That's what the witness intimidation statutes are designed for. Situations like this. You tell anybody what I did to you and I'll kill you and your family and the rest of our family. That's what witness intimidation is. You're right, Patriotic. Thank you for pointing that out.
Count 2 through 5 are domestic violence charges for McCain's assault on Nikki occurring December 2nd of 2023. Those are the domestic violence charges that were pending at the time that she went missing. Those are the same charges that my office dismissed in July of 2024.
We were
shortly
pissed
after she went missing.
Yeah, we were pissed when they dismissed those charges. So she goes missing in May. They dismissed the charges in July. The charges stemmed from a December 2023 incident that Nikki finally, I think she was finally trying to get out of that marriage. I saw a lot of comments fly by like, that's why you leave the first time he lays hands on you. Having spent my more than 3-decade career as an attorney representing victims of all kinds of horrific things, including childhood SA, I sued the Catholic Church for many, many victims and survivors of that scandal and victims of all kinds of horrific crimes and family situations. It's not as easy as some people make it out to be, getting away. You know, I mean, we could do a whole show on that. You need to have a plan. You need to have an exit strategy. You need to, it's not that easy. People who say they should just get away, it's not, you guys got to understand, it's not that easy. Let me just thank some gifters. Thanks, Terry, for gifting the membership. You're amazing. Thank you, Shelly Bean, who says, welcome to Cali, darling. I love it here. I love it here. I don't want to go home. Kat Randall says, thanks for the last year plus. And Sean has been here for 15 months. giving me a hug. Just me says Home Depot out of hammers like Dairy Queen out of ice cream. Yep, happened to me. Happened to me too. Welcome to college move-in week. And they're like, oh yeah, it's college move-in week. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm here. That's why I need a hammer. Well, the good dog says, I always think you look like a California girl. I know you like it out here and we love having you. Oh, girl, I don't want to go. I love it. The weather is perfect every single day. It's perfect hair day every day. Well, except for right now, but I was in the pool. Sammy says, just now checking in from the Arkansas River. Love you and your channel. Thanks. You're staying up late. Thanks, Sammy. And Angela gets in the membership. Thank you so very much.
We are refiling all of those charges. They include corporal injury to a spouse, false imprisonment, criminal threats, assault, and assault with force likely to cause great bodily injury. I know many people were very frustrated when that case was originally dismissed, and it may have appeared that McCain had gotten away with domestic violence charges, and I understand your frustration at that time, especially with our inability to really provide you the why behind that. But as you can see, we filed an enhancement to the murder charge for murder with intent to prevent testimony. The testimony, as I said, refers to the testimony that would have been her testimony in the domestic violence case. It is our belief that Tyler McCain murdered his wife, Nikki McCain, to prevent her from testifying in the domestic violence case. This enhancement elevates the murder charge from a sentence of 25 to life without the possibility of parole.
LWAP. LWAP for this guy. Kindergarten cop says in most courts, and he's got 25 years on the job with NYPD, no complainant means they can't go forward, and that's why DV cases, along with other cases, are sometimes dismissed.
Had we gone forward with the domestic violence case in 2024, we would not have been able to prove that case without her testimony, without also having to prove that McCain caused her disappearance. Proving that McCain caused Nikki's disappearance back in July of 2024 would have compromised the homicide investigation and our ultimate ability to file the charge of murder and the enhancement of committing that murder with intent to prevent her testimony. We have also filed additional charges. Counts 6 through 8 arise out of a search warrant that was served on Tyler McCain's home shortly after Nikki went missing. And as a result of that search, he is facing illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition after a criminal protective order had been issued protecting Nikki McCain prior to her going missing.
Yeah, the protective order, you know what that is, don't you guys? Just a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper.
Count 9 charges forgery occurring May 29th, again after Nikki went missing around May 18th. Shortly after Nikki was reported missing, this forgery charge results out of a forged signature on a joint tax return check that we believe that Tyler McCain forged her signature to cash that check. Counts 10 through 12 are for various violations occurring on April 1st of this year, after Nikki had been reported missing for almost an entire year. McCain was observed throwing items out of his vehicle, and when he was pulled over, on his possession was a burnt California driver's license for Nikki McCain.
He burnt California driver's license for Nikki McCain. Somebody in the chat said, I think he burned her body. I think, wasn't there, I don't remember, I could be conflating my cases, but wasn't there some neighbors who maybe were smelling smoke and fire around the time she went missing? I don't recall. I could be conflating cases because Rex Heuermann did that too. He loved to burn things in his backyard in a trash can. All the neighbors knew it. He was burning things all the time. All the time. Evidence, clothing, who knows? But he was a burner.
McCain's arraignment will be set for this coming Friday at 1:30. He's currently being held in the Shasta County Jail without bail, meaning he will not be released. The enhancement that we charge to the murder charge does come with it no bail. meaning no amount of money could be posted to allow him to be released. As I said at the beginning, this is very limited information that we're providing today. We will have some documents to provide you afterwards that contain information that will go over to the court tomorrow so that you have that information.
That's right. He set his car on fire. Thank you, Mom in the Shoe. And now I remember. He set his car on fire. Not suspicious at all, right? Look, it took them 15 months, and it seems like they've probably got a solid case. That's how long it took them. It wasn't like they were doing nothing. They were doing a lot behind the scenes, and we're just finding out about it now, right? And JC, the Music Man, says, yep, you're right. He set his car on fire on his property last year. Yeah, right around the time she went missing, right? I remember. Yeah.
But after that, it's just going to be procedural updates on what happens in court, as it's very important to protect the integrity of this prosecution going forward and the continued investigation while we continue to look for Nikki. We hope that filing these charges brings some measure of closure, not only to Nikki's family, but to the community. While many of you may want to call or text the family during this time to offer your support, please know that that can be very overwhelming, and the family has asked that you refrain from contacting them and respect their privacy at this time, unless, of course, they reach out to you. We aren't going to be taking questions, but the family members would like to make a statement, and at that point, we will be concluding the press conference.
Okay, so here the sisters have been, at least one of the sisters has been very, very vocal about, you know, the keeping it in the public eye and the search for Nikki. And KCL says, I hope Nikki's sisters have changed their mind about the husband. I hope they've woken up. Well, after this statement, I'm going to show you an interview they just did with Jesse Weber from Law and Crime. And I don't know, I'm not sure. And they did, Jessica, they did declare her dead. I think it's a year. It depends on the state. It varies by state. But they did declare her dead after, I think, a little over a year. So it's been, what, it's been 15 months. She went missing in May 2024. And I'm not, it may have been, I don't know when they declared her dead, but I will look it up because I know I have it. It does vary by state. Here's the family.
Good afternoon, everyone. On the behalf of our family, we want to express our deepest gratitudes to the Shasta County Sheriff's Department, all law enforcement, investigators, and the District Attorney's Office for their tireless work in bringing justice for my sister. Your dedication and persistence have given us a measure of peace that we've been longing for. To the community, thank you for standing by us. Your prayers, support, and strength have reminded us that we are not alone in our journey.
While this arrest is an important step, our fight is not over. We are still fighting for justice to be fully served, for my sister's memory to be honored, and for the healing of our family and community. Nothing can erase the pain of losing her, but knowing that the person responsible is being held accountable allows us to move forward with hope. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so that presser, stop. That presser was Wednesday. Today is Saturday. He was arraigned yesterday, pled not guilty. He's being held without bail. And then this aired yesterday on Law and Crime. Jesse Weber did an interview with the sisters. Take a listen to this.
We love him.
Chloe, has what if
With
I mean, this is a huge development. Chloe, I'll start with you. How are you feeling since the
Right. All right, here we go.
and protect.
possibility of parole if he's convicted of murder? But I want to continue this conversation, and I have two very special guests who are joining me. I am fortunate to be joined now by Nikki's two sisters, We have with us Chloe Saelee and Kay Saelee Ford, who have worked tirelessly to get Nikki's story out there, bring us updates, to talk about how they and the family are doing right now. They spoke with us on an earlier episode of Sidebar. Thank you both so much for coming on. I know this is not easy, any part of the process, but
Jesse Weber gets all the interviews. He gets all the interviews. Mazza's up. Hey, Mazza, what up? I'm in California time. I'm in California time, so good. Come hang with us. We're talking about some California cases since I'm here, and I'm sick of Adelson. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, this is a huge development. Chloe, I'll start with you. How are you feeling since the announcement of Tyler's arrest?
I'm feeling all type of emotions. I'm a little bit relieved because this is one step closer towards justice, but I'm also just really sad because it's just the reality of things, and so it's kind of setting in, and it's definitely real.
I mean, Kay, what do you think about this? He was a part of your family. I mean, did you suspect that he was involved in Nikki's disappearance? This is a major, major development.
We were always suspicious of him being involved, but without an official arrest, there were still other possibilities. But having and reading about some of the evidence that the detectives have found, and it's hard.
Wait, listen to this, because I did not know this. Listen to what she says next.
Hard to think, it's hard to think that, they're otherwise. So unfortunately, we did have some suspicions that he was involved. So this definitely, unfortunately, confirms it for us.
Did you ever, Kay, did you ever see any kind of red flags with him during the relationship personally? Did you witness anything?
There were some occasions, but what we have realized is that there was two sides of him. One that was very charming and very.
Aren't there always two sides to every abuser? Here he is. Here's his mugshot. Tyler McCain. Welcome. Welcome to Worldwide News, Tyler McCain. But something about what the sisters say here really kind of freaked me out. So listen, wait, so Jimmy, Auntie Deb is going down to Tallahassee. He's going to Tally to see, he's going to the trial. Is he going to get a seat? Jen, that's fantastic. Good for him. He got so into it. He got so into it so quickly. Take that back a second. Yeah, a lot of states it's 7 years. You're right. Unless there's special circumstances, maybe you can get it done in a year, but it seems like 15 months. I know they already had her declared dead, so I just don't know what prompted that. But somebody said it's 5 years in California unless there's other circumstances. He's obsessed with Donna. You think he'll get the interview? Oh my God. All right. Sorry, this is very serious. Okay, listen.
Is that there was two sides of him. One that was very charming and very likable and very trustworthy. And that was part of why I was hesitant to immediately assume that he was involved. But
But she knew, the sisters knew that she was being abused for years, since 2020. So I don't understand why this sister is like, oh, I didn't really immediately assume that he was involved. I don't know. Yeah, abusers always hide their true colors, especially from immediate family. But the sisters knew about it, because I remember that from when we first reported on this. Listen.
To immediately assume that he was involved. But I think that even speaks more loudly to who he is as a person, where he fooled us. So Nikki easily was fooled by him and how he had been able to kind of not really shown a ton of guilt.
Come back to your screen if you're able to, but look at the female agent or sheriff who's arresting him. She looks like she's about 15. She looks very, very young, but she is doing she cuffed him. She's walking him out, doing a little bit of a perp walk when they picked him up at his property. I know they were going to court, so I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I know at least one of the sisters knew, and I think she came from a big family, a lot of siblings.
For the crime, so it's heartbreaking. Just because we knew him so well, and and his children love him, and so it's heartbreaking for those around him and those who love him.
Chloe, what have police?
Wait, I'm sorry. It's heartbreaking for those around him, Tyler McCain, and those who love him. What the actual fuck? I gotta hear that again. Hold on. It's heartbreaking for his children. I guess she meant to say, okay, hold on.
And, you know, and his children, so it's heartbreaking, just because we knew him so well, and, you know, and his children love him. And so it's heartbreaking for those around him and those who love him.
For the
Chloe,
children.
what have police told you regarding their theory of how he allegedly killed your sister? I mean, have they given you a theory about what happened in specifics? Is there anything you can share with us?
They haven't really given us a theory, but so far they have told us in the media release of everything that they did find in the evidence. And I think one of the most just heartbreaking evidence that they found was when they found her truck, and when law enforcement could smell the overwhelming smell of decomposition. I think
Yeah, that's the part I was talking about before. That's horrifying. The overwhelming smell of decomp when they came upon her car. And they came upon her car pretty soon after she went missing in May of 2024. So they've been working really hard for 15 months on this. Shout out to law enforcement in Shasta County. I guess that's a smell you never forget. Kindergarten cop, can you back me up on that? Oh my God, you just said great minds.
that was really hard to read.
Chloe, it's interesting you say that about the information they've been giving you, giving the public, because there has been a lot of backlash against the sheriff's office. There is this claim of a lack of transparency. The sheriff even spoke about it at the news conference. What has been your reaction to that?
I think that I understand everything now. And a little bit in the beginning too, I did feel like they were keeping a lot from us. I didn't understand. But as everything's unfolding, I understand why they weren't as transparent in the beginning, just because to protect the integrity of the investigation. And they do work so hard, but they don't get enough credit for that. But they are working really, really hard. They have to be very tight-lipped about situations like this because to protect the investigation. So I think that they have been working very, very hard. It's just they had to keep their lips sealed.
Kay, as we laid out, this is not just one episode here. This story is about a trail of alleged domestic violence that Nikki was apparently enduring, allegedly at the hands of her own husband. How much was that a shock to you when you were hearing about this? Is there anything that you can share about what you knew or might have suspected about this domestic violence, or these claims of domestic violence?
No, we knew there were arguments. We knew that there were fights and the accusations of infidelity. But we initially assumed they were just exactly that, like fights. They got through them when he.
But we just didn't believe her. But we just kind of didn't believe her. No shade to the sisters, but sometimes people only see what they want to see. And I don't. And maybe she hid it really well. Maybe Nikki hid it really well. But I mean, listen. She had an order against him. And I remember the sisters speaking out and saying they knew about it since 2020. So this is a little surprising to me. Hold on. We just thought it was, accusations. They really, really, really don't want to believe Tyler's the guy. At least this sister.
Accusations of infidelity. But we initially assumed they were just exactly that, like fights. They got through them when he admitted to having affairs. They reconciled. So we assumed it was just verbal fights, arguments, things like that, marital things. We didn't realize the extent of the arguments and that they had gotten physical. And I know the more we didn't know about, the more it escalated, the more it became more and more violent. And then when the children are out of the home, I feel that there was less of a reason for them to, I guess, for him to keep it at a minimum. I think he felt, I think it got a lot worse.
Chloe, there's what information is being released by law enforcement, and then there's also what people have been speculating about, right? And the sheriff addressed that. These theories that have been circulating online, pointing the finger at various groups, saying there's been some sort of cover-up, which he said is categorically untrue. What has that been like for you, and how have you been able to parse out credible leads from what is potentially a barrage of misinformation?
I trust law enforcement, and it just kind of makes me have a better filter. I'm like, okay, so these rumors, things that are posted online, those aren't true. And I know that law enforcement's working very hard, so I trust what they shared with us, and we can kind of filter out, okay, so this person is involved and this person's not involved.
I want to ask both of you this. You know, Kay, this is a very big development. Now this is the start of the new chapter, right? This is the start of the legal chapter, the legal process. And assuming he decides to, fight these charges, this could go on for quite some time. How are you and your family doing right now at this point? How are you preparing to move forward as this case moves forward?
We're still absorbing the news, and it's like I said, it's mixed emotions, and we're preparing to see this through, to be there for the long run, and we're just making sure that we are supporting each other through this, and that we are talking about not just the trial, but what we're feeling and how we can support each other and how we can utilize the support from friends and family in the community. But we're ready for the fight. We're in this for the long haul.
Chloe, how about yourself?
I always say I didn't come this far to only come this far. And if this is what it takes, we're going to keep fighting. Having the community support really helps. And so we're ready. We're ready to go on to the next step.
And talking about that, Chloe, I mean, this is such a horrific situation, and it's not over for a number of reasons. And one of the most tragic aspects about this is that Nikki's body is still out there somewhere. What are the efforts to try to locate her remains?
Law enforcement did remind us that they're still going to work very, very hard to try to relocate my sister. Even though we have an arrest, they're going to still keep trying. And there's people in the community that have been helping us, volunteer searchers, and they're not giving up. They're still, messaging us and saying, hey, there's the spot that we want to check out. Let's plan a search there. So we're still working diligently and try to locate her body and her remains.
Yeah. The sheriff's office says the search for Nikki's body is going to be their top priority, and that anybody who has information about the case or where Nikki's remains may be, they're urged to call the Shasta County Major Crimes Unit at the number that we're going to put up there. Authorities are offering $30,000 for any information.
I'll keep that number up, 530-245-6135. They're offering a $30,000 reward for any information leading to the discovery of her remains.
Information leading to Nikki's location. Kay, do you have any theories? Have you heard anything? Do you know if there's any leads, any tips that seem credible at this point? Obviously don't have to share them, but do you feel confident that Nikki's body will be recovered?
I feel confident that we will recover what happened to her. We've heard many theories, even that her body may not be recoverable, and we're prepared for those types of, if that ends up being what happens or what happened. We've heard many different theories, and I think a lot of them, they make sense to us, like it could be a possibility. But I also feel that they may not have expected an arrest to have happened, with it being a homicide and no body. So I think people who may know what happened or who may know where she's located, I think they're feeling the pressure, and I think they know that they, even if they weren't involved, but if they know something, I think they're feeling the confidence to speak up and share what they know.
And just to follow up, Kay, do you feel confident in prosecutors securing a conviction here? Because a no body case, quite unique in that area, and it's sometimes not the easiest case to prosecute, but based on what you've seen in this case and your belief about what happened, do you feel confident in prosecutors securing a conviction against Tyler?
I do feel confident with that. I know they had to have a good amount of evidence to even consider this a homicide without a body, and to make an arrest. They have a significant amount of evidence, and even the little bit that they released in the press release, I know that there's a lot more evidence to be shared. And I think that they have a strong case, very strong prosecutors, and an amazing investigator that's been a detective that's been working on this case from the very beginning. So yeah, I do think that they're going to do a good job prosecuting the case, and we will get the answers that we're looking for.
Now, before we wrap things up, we talk so much about the legal case. I want to put that to the side. I want to just, for anybody who doesn't know, I want you to explain a little bit more about who Nikki was. Chloe, I'll start with you. For our viewers, our listeners.
I don't know. Vibes are off for me. Vibes are off. I'm not saying anything. I mean, I know everyone processes information in different ways, and I just know how I would be if this was my sister. And so I look at it through that lens. And so I'm not accusing anybody of anything or saying that anybody's having the wrong reaction to it. For me, vibes are off. Thank you, Jay Revitt, for your 20. That is very, very sweet of you. For your super sticker. I appreciate you so much. And DK has been here for 22 months. Finally, you live on the... No, I don't live here. I'm just visiting. This is my boyfriend, Dave Matthews, was here last night at the forum. So I had to come. I was already in Boulder. So I figured, why not just hop, skip, and a jump? I followed you from Duty Run, she says, and I've been with you since you started. You had me at Costner, proud to be a cupcake. Oh, there's more news on Costner. There's another lawsuit against him for somebody who's working on the set of Horizon. So if you guys are interested in, we're going to cover that as well, because you know how much I like. He had me a tin cup. He had me a tin cup in the first videos I ever did on my channel were of Kevin Costner's divorce. And Sammy has a theory that I'm not going to read out loud because her opinion is her opinion, but you can read it and you can say whether or not you agree with Sammy's opinion, but I can't read it. So she says either one of those sisters is, or neither sister actually knows the sister that's the victim, in my opinion. I don't know. I just feel like they were making excuses for him, like right off the bat. And that's kind of a weird thing to do when you're going on a national interview like Jesse Weber, in my opinion.
Listeners, what can you share about Nikki, your relationship with Nikki, what we should know about Nikki?
She's one of 7 children. She's one of the oldest in the family. Nikki.
One of 7. One of the oldest in the family, she says. That's kind of weird too. It's like one of the oldest. Like, wouldn't you just say she's number 3 or whatever? I don't know.
He was such a loving, kind person. She always wanted to spread kindness, and she was so funny. And she's just that type of person that would do anything for anyone. She was, a person who's always down for whatever you needed. She was always there for you. She was just a very kind person.
Yeah, she was very genuine. And I think that speaks to how many people have rallied around her. Those who knew her, grew up with her, went to school with her, friends and family from out of the area. Her energy was very contagious. It was, like I said, very genuine. It was a little naive at times, but it was very genuine. And I think that energy is still radiating from her. Even those who have never met her are some of the strongest advocates for her.
Did she just say her sister was naive? And that's why she got beat up by her husband? I'm sorry if I'm being too harsh, but that is kind of what it sounded like. Is she the oldest sister, this one? Because I think it's the other sister who has been very vocal about trying to find her. I think it's not this sister, it's the other one who's speaking. A little naive. Let's take it back a second. Her energy was contagious, like I said, very genuine. It was
a little naive at times, but it was very genuine. And I think that energy is still radiating from her. Even those who have never met her are some of the strongest advocates for her. So that is why she has so many people supporting her and wanting justice for her, because she's touched so many people because of her genuine energy that she shared with people.
Sounds like an incredible person. Chloe, Kay, again, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry you're going through this process. I'm happy to hear that you have a very strong support system as well, which is going to be important as you go through this. But thank you so much for taking the time to come on here, particularly with this new development. We are going to stay on top of this story. And obviously you have an open platform to come back on here as this case progresses. But Chloe and Kay, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Jesse. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, and this whole piece is about 30 minutes that Jesse Weber did, but I don't know. Vibes are off. I'm just saying what I'm feeling. This is the backdrop. Thank you. Somebody said you're in a very regal looking room. It's like a remember when like the panty happened and everybody had to do Zoom and you had those like Zoom backgrounds? L Decor made a whole bunch and I downloaded them. I forgot that I had them and the wall behind me is so plain. And sometimes when I'm traveling, you guys are like, it looks like you're in jail. And I'm not. So yeah, thank L Decor for the lovely background, which actually doesn't look so fake because someone actually thought it was real. Danny B said, or it could be that she knows something about Nikki. She knows something Nikki didn't want to believe. I don't know. People got all kinds of thoughts in the chat. I just think it's kind of weird. Listen, they had some supporters for Nikki outside yesterday. So hang on. Not Karen Reed level type supporters, but there were supporters out there rallying. Says this is from the Record Searchlight. Must be a local paper. And here's some people outside the courthouse. Justice for Nikki. This picture is from July 5th of 2024. That's around, I think that was around the day that they dismissed the DV charges and they wanted people out there to show support. Yeah, this is from July 5th of 2024. I don't know what it looked like the other day on Friday. Well, I guess this article was from July of 2024. So that explains. I guess I didn't pick the most current article to show you. I think they did live nearby. No, I mean, nobody else has spoken out yet. Just we saw 4 of the siblings, I think, at the press conference, but only 2 of them spoke, the sisters. And so something's off for me. Something's just a little bit of, I can't really put my finger on it, Kirsten, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. That's the lore. The lore behind that. Alan Jackson was with me in Cancun to see Dave Matthews. I don't even know if he likes Dave Matthews, although I did ask him that one time. I did, because he didn't even know the story, the rumor, and I made merch. So it was kind of funny. And that is that. But anyway, there will be justice for Nikki McCain, I hope, although the Shasta County has never had a no-body murder case before, but it seems like they've got a lot of evidence against this guy, and hopefully we're going to see justice for Nikki McCain. I hope so. All right, we got a couple other things to talk about. Martha Nolan, 33-year-old fashion designer. You want to talk about Martha Nolan or you want to talk about baby Emmanuel? Got lots of things pulled up here for you. You know, maybe we'll go to baby Emmanuel because that's just breaking. That just happened yesterday. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, this was really crazy too. All right, I'm going to sidetrack again. Sorry. Did you guys see the AG that was caught on body cam in Newport, Rhode Island? They asked her to leave a bar and she went nuts. And she's caught on camera talking about she's an AG. That's wild. Montauk, because I'm on the West Coast. That's why, Kraken. I'm on the West Coast right now. I'm in LA. I'm in LA. Both, please. Yeah, that body cam footage was crazy. The Attorney General. That was crazy. So entitled. So entitled. You guys already watched it. My mind is going in too many different places. What do you want to? Yeah, I know. All right, let's talk about Martha Nolan O'Slatera, 33-year-old fashion designer who was found dead on a boat in Montauk, August 5th at the Montauk Yacht Club. There's not that much information on it, but there's a little something extra. Her funeral was held in Ireland, and it was tragic, and it was sad. And I don't know if you remember the first, we only did, I don't know how many shows we did on this. Maybe just one. The TikToks that we found of Martha and the really handsome man that she was with, apparently that was her real boyfriend. And the guy she was with on the boat, we don't really even know if she was with him on the boat, but it was his boat. He's a deadhead. The boat is called Ripple. There it is. He also owned a boat called Hell in a Bucket, which is another Grateful Dead song name. Now they're saying Ray Tierney, the Suffolk County District Attorney in New York, who is also prosecuting Rex Sherman, the suspected Long Island serial killer, is saying they're looking into whether or not it was an accidental overdose from designer drugs. And he says that he is going to find the person who sold her those drugs and prosecute them. I'll believe it when I see it, but authorities investigate whether Montauk boat victim and Irish designer Martha Nolan O'Slatera died of designer drug overdose. So now that's what they're looking into. And they're saying that there was white powder found on the boat. It's going to take a couple of weeks for the toxicology to come back. They did an autopsy. They found no evidence of violence. Apparently, she had called her boyfriend or texted him. He was not with her. He was somewhere else. And she said, I'm getting an Uber home now. And he had two boats parked right next to each other. Yeah, we're going to see them. And both boats have left the yacht club. And the guy's name is Christopher Durnan. They've kept his name out of the paper so far. I don't know if he's connected. I don't know if he's powerful. They're calling him a tycoon or a mogul. He owns an insurance firm in Rockville Center, okay? He's got a $2.2 million house that he just bought recently in Montauk. He's 60-something years old. His first wife died under suspicious, they say, circumstances in 2018. But here's what's very interesting. He's got a son with the exact same name. And he was in his early 60s. Martha was 33. Apparently, he had invested maybe $200,000 in her swimsuit company. She had told her boyfriend she was going for a business meeting, and she's found dead on this guy's boat, on Durnan's boat, Ripple. Here's what Ray Tierney, the DA of Suffolk County, said. In our society right now, the way we have evolved with these designer drugs, all these substances that are created in a lab, you want to be extra careful that whatever testing you've done is comprehensive and complete before you make any findings in the case. Oftentimes, it's not just one substance, he said. What you do is you test for heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl, right? Tierney said. Now you want to test for xylazine. You want to test for nilazine. You want to test for some obvious other substances. He says that like if you know Ray Tierney, you know that he has no idea what he's talking about. He's never tried a case, as far as I know, and he's going to be trying Rex Sherman's case himself, apparently, against Michael Brown, who's one of the best defense attorneys in the state, in my opinion. He says you want to make sure it's as comprehensive as possible, just because you may get a result on one substance that doesn't preclude the possibility that another substance was used as well, he said. And here's Ripple, and then next to it, to the left. So this is a 54-foot Sea Ray. I remember when I first saw this, the picture was from far away, and I said, it doesn't look like a very big boat. This is a 54 Sea Ray. And the reason I thought that is because the boat next to it, to the left, is Hell in a Bucket. That's his boat also, and that is a much bigger boat and much faster boat than the fishing boat, Ripple. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Another CU alum in the chat. I'm not in Colorado right now. I was. I am now in LA. And no, I'm not going to CrimeCon unless I'm like actually speaking at CrimeCon or participating in CrimeCon. I'm not going to go and like watch other people talk at CrimeCon. Apparently there's some blowback on them giving this guy, Jerry Holman, an award at CrimeCon. So I don't know, are any of you going to CrimeCon? Some blowback on that. So no, the answer is no. The answer is if I'm there that weekend, it'll be to go to a CU football game. It will not be to go to CrimeCon. I don't know if you guys are. No shade if you are. No shade if you are at all. Nolan O'Slatera migrated to the U.S. from Ireland in 2018. She had her swimwear company called East by East. She summered in the Hamptons and she had recently done a pop-up at Gurney's. We looked at Gurney's last time. This is Christopher Dernan. Here he is. His picture over here on the right with his Grateful Dead guitar. There have been no arrests in the case. He's not a suspect. There was reports from some other people at the yacht club on their boats who said there was a naked man running around screaming, "That's my girlfriend," but we do know that he's not. At least her boyfriend didn't think that she had another boyfriend, so it's very unusual. Dernan, 60, a familiar figure at the yacht club, owns Dernan Group in Rockville Center. His business manages the largest, most successful workers' comp safety group for real estate, according to the Empire State Marine Trades Association. His second boat, Helena Bucket, was docked next to Ripple. And then they had the funeral in Ireland, in Carlow. It's a small Irish village about 50 miles from Dublin. We have some viewers who are actually from there. And the first time we covered this, you guys shouted out that you are from there and you have relatives from there. Also turns out that this guy Dernan apparently had been accused of biting a firefighter, a 9/11 first responder, back in like 2014, 2016 at a concert at Webster Hall in Manhattan, which, you know, he denies and says wasn't the way they made it seem. I had pulled up, here it is, the Irish Independent article. And that is not the right article because that was before. Hang on. I had some very sad photos from the funeral. Give me a second. So glad you guys taught me about reader view. Now I never have to suffer through all these stupid pop-ups again. Here's some heartbreaking photos from her funeral. And this is her boyfriend, Nicholas DeRubio, holding her casket. Her funeral was just a couple days ago on August 20th. And here he is. You might recognize him from the TikToks that we looked at. So sad. And of course, the paparazzi at the funeral in Ireland. DeRubio, I guess he gave a speech or a eulogy at her funeral, and he said Martha had a special way of lighting up every room she walked into, whether it was her signature high or her famous hand gestures. DeRubio told mourners during the service, according to the Irish Mirror. O'Slatter's sister Jackie went on to describe her as her built-in best friend. "Martha, my beautiful sister, you taught me everything I needed to know in life. I didn't always see you, but I always knew you were there," the teary sibling said. And this is her mom, the blonde in the black dress. Martha Nolan O'Slatter's mother, Elma, at the funeral for her daughter on Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. Beautiful church in Ireland. And the family has hired Arthur Idala, who's a famous attorney. And then I found some other articles that said that there was some speculation that maybe she had brain cancer. And then the mother was like, "No way, she didn't have brain cancer. I spoke to her every day. What are you talking about? That's a rumor." And so a lot of really weird information out there that I cannot confirm. Her sister said, "We know each other's quirks, dreams, and fears, and the bond between us sisters is unique and unbreakable. So here's to the sisters, the one who make life brighter, who know you best, and who love you the most. Cheers to the laughter, the tears, and the countless memories that were made." Martha's passport and makeup brushes, as well as a U.S. and Irish flag, were on display inside the church during the service. Following the service, the Irish beauty was buried at the local St. Mary's Cemetery. and her boyfriend, Nicholas DeRubio, is just heartbroken. I also found some divorce filings, as I told you during the first stream. She was married to a guy named Sam Ryan, who apparently filed for divorce in just March of this year in 2025. There's a lot of conflicting reports that said that I've seen reports that say that the divorce was finalized. It absolutely was not finalized. It was only filed in March of 2025. And then I read some other reporting that said that Sam Ryan notified the court like the day after that she was dead. And so he wanted his divorce. Like, it was just, I don't know. There's a lot of odd things going on here, in my opinion, too. And then here's her picture that they had on her. You know, the little booklet at her funeral. Beautiful girl. Martha Nolan O'Slatter, may she rest in peace. So sad. Gorgeous. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if Ray Tierney, Suffolk County DA, can find the guy or gal who sold the alleged designer drugs. We don't really even know if that is what happened here, but he seems convinced. So there's that. Sad. All right, let's take a look at this assistant attorney, this AG, because this is like everyone should show this to their kids, and everyone should say this is exactly how not to behave. If you're ever asked to leave a bar, this is exactly how you do not behave. They were partying in Newport, Rhode Island. They're asked to leave, and it's all caught on camera. And now this girl has been suspended from her job when she could have just agreed to leave. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the business. She had a partner who put up something on Instagram, you know, like pairs up kind of thing. All right, let's check this out, because you guys, this is bizarre. Show this to your kids. Tell them, don't do this. If they ask you to leave a bar, just leave. Don't pull out the "don't you know who I am" card. Give me a break. Drunk Assistant Attorney General berates officers outside fancy Newport restaurant. This was only 2 days ago. If you haven't seen this, you're going to enjoy it.
That's the law. I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going.
But you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG.
An assistant attorney general is in some big trouble after humiliating video of her arrest outside of a ritzy Rhode Island restaurant went viral. While some people are claiming the police officers maybe overreacted to a
Actually, this was from August 14th, but it just was released about 2 days ago.
minor situation. Others say Devon Hogan Flanagan tried to abuse her position to get her own way. We're taking a closer look at the video and getting insight on dealing with potential arrest powder kegs with a retired NYPD officer. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
I don't want to hear his commentary. I just want to fast forward to the parts of the... So crazy. Here we go.
On August 14th in Newport, Rhode Island. So officers responded to a call from Clark Cookhouse. This is a swanky establishment on Bannister's Wharf. It's two 34-year-old women who were later identified as Devon Hogan Flanagan and Veronica Hannan. They were reportedly quite intoxicated and refusing to leave, which was causing all sorts of problems for staff outside the crowded restaurant. Now, before I play the body cam video of the...
I mean, they're 34 years old. It's not like they're like 21, right? They're 34 years old. There's no excuse for this kind of behavior.
Arrest for you, and there's a lot to dissect there. I want to bring in retired NYPD detective and co-host of the...
No, we're going to fast forward. Hang.
You can do officers expecting. What do they know walking into a scene?
Yeah, usually the radio call is only, maybe an intoxicated person or disruptive or dispute or something like that. Very little information is given, and that all goes by the caller, whoever the caller may be giving the information. But usually that's pretty much all you're getting walking into a scene.
And when you're dealing with somebody who is arguably drunk, how does that complicate things? How do you have a conversation with that person? How do you elicit information from that person? I would imagine it gets a little complicated.
Yeah, it's hard because the level of intoxication depends on what the conversation is going to be. Sometimes their demeanor is very low and they understand what's going on and can be removed pretty quickly. But then there's others, as you know, where alcohol leads to your mouth running too much and violence and entitlement and all that. And that's what happened in this situation.
And are you more on guard? You don't know exactly what they're going to do. They're unpredictable.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, listen, any call you go to is dangerous. Situation that you walk into potentially has the ability to be violent. So you're always on guard with that. And especially when it comes to intoxicated people, because
And she doesn't shut up. She just keeps going and going and going. She's not elected though. She's an assistant attorney general, which means that she's just got a staff position. So somebody said, especially if you're an elected official, no, but she likes to throw it around like she's somebody, like, don't you know who I am?
Right? We see kinds of calls
and are causing
thing at this restaurant, this establishment, this business. I got to ask, is anybody out there also in a business of some kind?
Here's where he goes into his commercial. Oh, for the Christ. For the love of the traveling Mary. Let's just watch the video. I thought I had a clean copy of this video. Hang on.
Talk. Can we all talk? We'll talk.
This poor guy Dan. This poor guy Dan is the only guy here with a brain. And is it the husband? Is it her husband or is it her boyfriend? I'm not sure, but hang on.
He already making demands.
I want you to turn the body cam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off, she's a lawyer.
Let's count how many times she says protocol. Protocol is you turn it off. If I request you to turn off your body cam, you turn it off. And they treat her like initially they're nice to her because they just want her to get the hell out of there. They don't want to deal with the paperwork and having to bring her in, but she's not going to shut up. She's not going to shut up.
So they want you guys to leave?
Yes, we're going to leave.
Let's just leave. Let's just make it easy, okay?
We're going to make it easy. That's not.
I am. Okay. I'm her husband.
That's not the point. Can you
We'll talk over here, okay?
Your protocol is.
Can we all talk? Can we all talk? Talk over here. They want you to leave.
Your protocol is.
Can we talk? Who is she to you? What's that?
No, nothing. Nothing.
She is our college friend. Okay. Yes.
So he's the husband of the other girl, not the AG. The AG's friend, who also has a superiority complex.
No, I'm not.
You guys just want to know? Do you want them to trespass? Anything we can do. Yeah. Trespass, yeah. I just need trespass. Get it out. Please.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do you want to chat?
I know that your protocol is.
So you're trespass, so we got to leave now. Unless you want to be in there.
We're not trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing. Number one.
What did I
Number
just
two.
say to you?
You're number one. Number one.
I don't
Number
want to
two.
arrest you guys.
You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We got to go. We got to go.
protocol
Let's go.
is to
Let's
make
go.
them down for 1 second. Is to simply ask you to
I
turn
don't
the
want.
body
I don't
cam
want to
off.
deal with this. Let's
Okay.
go.
No, I understand you don't want to deal with it, but the
Let's go.
protocol is, and your protocol is if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and that's your protocol. She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true.
Look at her face. The friend. She's an effing lawyer. She knows. You ever have a friend like that? You know any girls like that? He's like, you're trespassing. We just want you to go home. We just want you to go home. Just go home. No.
She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we got to go.
No, it is. That's
That's lawyer stuff. It's not true. Hilarious. Hold on. I'm going to hit the part again.
I understand you don't want to deal with it, but the protocol is, and your protocol is if I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and that's your protocol. She's a lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we got to go.
No, it is. That's law. I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a Let's go. We're going.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going.
Let's go. We're leaving.
Please don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's go.
He goes, can you get your children out of here? Can you get your children out of here? Here, let's put Chaka in the corner because we're in the land of the lost. Oh, this is even better. Do you see this? Because, you know, cupcakes are our symbol here. I baked you some shut the fuck up cakes. See in the corner? Hilarious.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on. There are two full-grown women and mothers.
Mothers.
You just need the 10. You just need the 10.
I'm an AG. What do you probable cause to detain me for?
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because I'm what? You have
Can you relax? Sir, she's not doing anything wrong.
AG.
She's not leaving.
I'm an AG.
She's an AG. Honey, you're not. She's not being arrested. Let's go.
She's an AG. She's an attorney general. She's an assistant attorney general, apparently, in Rhode Island. This was in Newport. Has anybody ever been to this fancy Newport restaurant? Is it fancy?
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being
Okay,
arrested.
do you have any weapons on you?
No, I'm an AG.
Her badge is in the car. You want to go get a badge?
Let me tell you something. You're
Buddy,
arrested.
get the here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting me, AG. Let me tell you something.
Are you on arrest right now? No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing me.
Relax. Relax.
Buddy, you're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
Buddy, you're going to regret this. Tip number one, if you're an AG, don't call a cop buddy, number one. At least she's going willingly. Wait till you see what happens with the friend. Oh, this gets better. This is Newport, Rhode Island, not Newport, California.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an 8.
I'm an 8.
I will say there's something, Tom, kind of funny as she's.
Yeah, I'm an 8. It gets better. Gets better when they put the friend in the car. Hang on. Here we go.
We will get to
seen struggling with officers, and at one point, this is incredible, apparently slips out of the handcuffs.
We will get the license.
Hands off me.
We will get the license. She's getting detained. No. We'll get the license. Get out of here. Get back. Get back right now. Get back. Detained.
No, I can't. No.
Get back. Get cuffs. Yep. I'm right here. It's okay. Just go from the car. No, I'm right here.
Her husband, Dan, is in the back of going, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. He wants her taken away. He's just like, take her. Take her. I'm right here. I'll come find you tomorrow.
I'm right here. Come on, Dave.
No. Stop.
All right. Dave, I'm right here.
No, babe, please, I'm scared.
I'm right here.
Please, I'm doing this. Please, I'm here. No, I'm not going to find you. I'm happy.
I'm right here.
No.
Okay.
No, please don't do this to my friend.
I'm right here.
No. Babe.
I'm right here.
Babe.
I'm right here.
No, babe.
Relax.
No,
relax. What's wrong with you? Relax. We don't want to put you in handcuffs. Let's go. Let's go.
No, babe.
Listen, you're overreacting. You're adding charges. You're overreacting.
Even her husband is telling her she's overreacting. First of all, her dress is almost falling off. She almost had a nip slip there. Bonnie Lee, what do you mean I didn't believe you? I didn't say I didn't believe you. I said that was news to me. I didn't know because I've been off the grid for a couple of days because I've been traveling. I think that's exciting if he's going. Nothing to apologize about, girl.
No. Please take my hands up. Please take your hands up. No. Please
You were overreacting. You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No. Babe, no.
I'm right here. No. Just put her in.
No.
Did you see how the police officer just put his hand around her neck? Like that was a little bit weird. Watch this. I don't know. Is that a normal procedure, Scott? Watch how he almost looks like he's trying to choke her. Hold on.
Get in the car.
No, no, no! Babe, no!
I'm right here.
I mean, right there. He was like, had his hand around her throat.
No, no, no! Babe, no!
Look at that. Almost a chokehold. They were drunk and disorderly, and the restaurant owner called the cops and said, I just want them out of here. I just want them out of here. Trespassing, just get them out of here. And the cops tried to get him out and they wouldn't leave. Now the friend of the AG is getting put in the back of the patrol car. It's not the night they thought they were going to have.
I'm right here.
Get
No!
Just put her in.
No!
I'm right here.
Get back, bro.
In the car.
No!
Get your feet in the car.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Get your feet in the
Poor Dan. She lost her shoes and now she's pushing the car door so they can't close it.
car.
Get your feet in the car.
Dan!
Hey, I'm right here.
No! Babe! Babe! No!
Get your feet in the car.
Who the
Get your
touch
feet
me!
in the car. You're a grown adult. You're acting like a kid.
Dan!
Hey,
Dan!
right here. I'm right here.
No! Who the are you? This is so
You're
inappropriate! You're overreacting! Dan!
I don't know. I think Dan is the most well-behaved of all. He probably wanted her out of there. He was going to have a nice evening. Yeah, I think she does have kids because I think that Dan said, yes, they're mothers. They're mothers.
So they wanted to trespass. They were just throwing a fit. Trevor, we've got 2 to 10.
Wow. Tom.
Yeah, so that was that. Is there more? Wait, hold on, let's see.
To really ruin her night. But it does happen depending on the size of the person. You know, handcuffs only go, close so far. And maybe they just, again, the officers were just trying to do the right thing. They didn't clamp down on them as hard as they could with the second pair because they had to. But it's just another example of what police officers go through daily. And that's why years ago, Jess, I was so in favor of body cams because this shows what police officers have to deal with on a daily basis all the time, especially, when it comes to people like this. And it's amazing how the sound of handcuffs can sober somebody up really fast.
What did you make of that reaction? I mean, kicking the door, putting her feet out,
I'm sure it happens every single day. I don't find it that wild. I find it wild that it's on body cam and that it went viral and that the AG is now suspended from her job. I don't know if she's been fired because I'm sure there's a procedure they got to follow. They got to probably jump through some administrative hoops, but, not really where you want to be. Alcohol's bad. Alcohol's bad.
The door wouldn't close, screaming like that. It's tough for the officers to figure out what to do next. What were their options now?
Yeah, Jesse, it is. It's tough. Kind of a dopey interview, but I just thought the body cam footage was interesting, and I thought you guys, if you hadn't seen it, would think it was wild. We'll see what happened. Oh, let's see. Here's the Newport police report that says Sergeant Lavalley booked and photographed Veronica. So I guess that was Veronica. The friend, and she was searched by Officer Gonsalves before being placed in cell number 8. Officer Hudson booked and photographed Hogan. It should be noted that while booking Hogan, she was extremely uncooperative, berating officers, repeatedly stating her position as an AG, and refusing to follow instructions. Hogan was eventually released with a district court summons. Wow. Sometimes you just can't make it up.
Trespass, which is a misdemeanor. Hannan faces charges for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, along with a willful trespass charge. Hogan Flanagan has worked for Attorney General Peter Naranha in Rhode Island for several years, and right now she's assigned to the appellate unit of the criminal division, arguing cases in front of the state Supreme Court But on Tuesday, Nolan reacted to the arrest and viral video during an interview on WPR radio, and he said she made her watch the body camera footage and said she's really remorseful, takes responsibility, told WPRO that an investigation was launched within the AG's office and that he'll have to think on what Hogan Flanagan's punishment will be. Quote, "It's just hard to find and keep capable lawyers, and I just have to think really carefully about this one, but no question there will be a strong sanction here."
I'm sorry, it's just really hard to find and keep capable lawyers. Do you know how many? We're overloaded with lawyers. There's a lawyer, too many. There's too many lawyers. What I'm sorry, are you kidding me? That's your statement?
Suspension without pay if I retain her, for sure. So she's not going to continue as if nothing happened. She's humiliated herself. Regardless of what happens vis-a-vis her employment with us, she's going to have a long time coming back from this. It's just really unfortunate. Now, an internal review is expected to wrap up in the next few days, and NBC 10 reports that they tried reaching Hogan Flanagan by phone this week, but said the woman who answered told them no comment and hung up.
Of course.
Tom, should this be the end of someone's career or just a roadblock, a learning lesson? What do you think?
He's a cop. Why are you asking him?
You know what? I'm never in favor of just completely, ending someone's career. But, when you're in a position that she's in the criminal justice system, you have to be responsible for your actions, both on duty and off duty. And it's going to be up to, I think that was well said. That statement covered kind of every question that anyone would have for him. And I think he did a very good job with that statement, with the way it's going to perceive and his disappointment in her and going forward with an investigation, which is the way it should be. The public should not determine the employment of someone. It's up to them.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time. But she's a government employee, so it's harder to fire her. If she was a private employee, they could just fire her because for any reason.
Supervisors and bosses and the way she acted is going to come into account, and I think the statement was well said, and she's going to get hit by this for sure. It's just a matter of how severe.
Well, here's what happened yesterday, because Boston 10 is on it, and here's what happened yesterday.
The Rhode Island Special Assistant Attorney General, who caused quite the stir after getting arrested outside of a Newport restaurant, has officially been placed on unpaid leave. Devon Hogan Flanagan, who you see here wearing the pink outfit, was arrested for trespassing last week. Police were called to Bannister's Wharf for an unwanted party, and when they got there, Hogan Flanagan repeatedly told officers, quote, "I'm an AG, I'm an AG." And she also told them to turn off their body cameras, which they did not have to do, we later learned. A friend was with her and was also arrested. Again, unpaid leave begins Monday. It is unclear how long that will last.
Yeah, it's unclear how long that'll last, but I don't know. What do you think? Portia says, with an element of power, ethics, and morals can go out the window. Don't you know who I am? Who I am is the worst, says Tiggy Girl. Yeah. Jessica Miller. I just finished watching the Christopher Wolfenbarger trial. Fulton County is awful. Prosecutors. That man did 2 years with no evidence against him. He looked really creepy. I didn't watch that trial either. But maybe that's one we should have watched because he was acquitted. He was acquitted. That was a murder from what year? Like in the 90s, 1998. He was on trial in Fulton County, Georgia for allegedly murdering his wife back in, was it 1998? And he was acquitted. And that's another blemish on Fonnie Willis's record, as if she needed any more blemishes. She's the worst. Brandy's checking in from Idaho, getting ready to go to bed. Oh, thanks. The stream named anything but Adelson. I couldn't. That's all anybody's talking about. That yeah, and there was Bonnie Lee saying Jimmy's going to be at the Adelson case as of tonight. This is going to be hysterical. I look forward to seeing. Well, I don't know if are they showing the gallery? I mean, I mostly was listening to it, so I wasn't watching the video. So I've been driving around listening to it and watching it. Sandy B says, hey, if you come for Aaron Spencer trial, don't stay in Lonoke County. Stay in Maumelle or the Heights in Little Rock. Great Airbnbs. Thanks, Sandy B. That trial's not going to be until January. What's it like there in the winter? Scott putting up the number for the Shasta County major crimes. And Joe just is not going to lie. The Do You Know Who I Am line reminds me of Reese Witherspoon's body cam. Oh, that's right. I remember when she was caught on body cam saying that. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? Marcy says it was insane. The only physical evidence was parts of her body, nothing else. But again, you know, it's Fulton County. They'll prosecute anything, right? She's trying to get her reputation back. I can't believe she still has a job, Fonnie Willis. I mean, remember we comforted Fonnie Willis marching into court and putting herself on the stand? That was some of the funniest, one of the funniest shows I think I've ever done, or the most fun I've had doing it, was watching Fonnie Willis testify and Nathan Wade and all of that stuff. It was great. Ashley Merchant, that was so fun. You guys remember that? Weird Debbie says, I watched the Wolf and Barger trial. The prosecution didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Lena Lee. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm with the West Coast people on the West Coast time. That's why we have such a nice, intimate crowd tonight. Intimate crowd. Yeah, it is getting late, and I'm in a hotel, so I should turn it down so that I don't bother the LA Chargers players who are in the room next door, because they probably have to get their sleep because they're in training camp and they're all on my floor. So there's that. All right. So what do you guys want to do tomorrow? Do you want to catch up on Adelson? Do you want to do it? Should we do the things? Should we watch Wendy together on Monday? What do you think we should do? I can't commit to the whole entire trial because, as you know, my twins are starting their second year of college. And I just took one to Boulder, and now I have to take the other one next Sunday, so I cannot cover every single day of the trial. But do you want to do it? The Kevin Spacey trial. I saw some bits and pieces. I saw some bits and bites of the Kevin Spacey trial this morning. And I heard that Alan Jackson is going to be on Howie Carr, like this coming Thursday. Why? Why is Alan Jackson going to be on Howie Carr on Thursday? Is there going to be an announcement of some sort? Nick Rocco tweeted that, and some of you guys sent it to me. And so I have questions, Mr. Jackson. Are you going to take the red eye, Mrs. Jackson? You're going to be on the phone with Howie and you're announcing it already for next Thursday? What's going to happen? You want to do openings with me? I feel like everyone and their mother has already done it, but if you guys want to do it with me, I'm happy to do it with you. I just don't want to keep beating the dead horse of, you know, this trial. I feel like nobody's talking about anything else. Please explain the Adelson opening. I mean, it's new to me, so it's kind of like I can go in as a juror because I really don't know anything about the other trials, and so we can look at it as from the standpoint of, are they going to be able to prove their case against Donna? Thursday at 2 p.m. is when he's going on Howie, says James Lynch. No, I heard that was a rumor about Kelly Dever turning in her badging gun. I heard it was a rumor. So I don't know. Oh, Sandy says my insights are the best, but Wendy should be worth watching. I mean, I did watch the, that's so funny that you say that, Ms. Holmes 66. First of all, somebody commented on one of my videos that they saw my episode of Evil Lives Here the other day. I wasn't an episode of Evil Lives Here. It was I didn't even remember the name of the case. And she wrote it in the comment, Carl Carlson. That was the name of the case. And I played the guy's wife in an episode of Evil Lives Here. And apparently it was like on again the other day on Discovery ID. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. I shot that like, had to be like over 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. Carlson was the name of the killer, and he was my husband in that. So if you saw it on Discovery ID, yes, that was me. And I just got 2 auditions while I'm on vacation, and that always happens when I'm on vacation because you hear nothing for a very long time. I can't even talk about it because you're not allowed to say what it's about. I will say one of the auditions involves a pretty famous actor, a movie, and the other one is like a sci-fi thriller. That's a bigger role for me. So I have 2 auditions, but nothing's in person anymore. Everything is on, you tape it and you send it in. So it's like a self-tape. So yes, Ms. Holmes, I am, but they're for things that are happening. One of them is filming in Minneapolis, and the other one is filming, I think, in New York. So there's that. So yeah, it always happens when I'm on vacation and I don't have, somebody to read with me and whatever, but I work it out. Roger's like, Adelson is one I have not followed. I have not followed intentionally. That's what he says. Justine says the detectives working the Adelson case are refreshingly competent, but why did it take 11 years for them to figure out that she was, because of the bump? I heard about the bump. I mean, I have been following it behind the scenes, but I just didn't know if you guys wanted me to do it with you too, because those of you who are doing it are doing it. You're doing it. And Jimmy, Auntie Deb is taking the full commitment, and he's flying down to tally. Well, the good dog says we could watch the video of Alan Jackson do opening statement at Phil Spector trial and Kevin Spacey on Court Chopped. I did see one video today from Court Chopped, but it was a whole bunch of things put into one video. I didn't honestly finish the whole entire thing, but it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Classic Clippy says, no openings, please. I'm here for you guys, whatever you guys want to do. SNL should do a skit of Fonnie on the stand in that trial with her friend Wade. Yeah, Nathan Wade, the boyfriend, the lover. That's another great skit from Saturday Night Live when they're in the hot tub and they're eating like the turkey legs, and it's my whole past, Will Ferrell, Rachel Dratch, in the hot tub with my lover and the goat meat, and that is that, and that is that. And Jody, I'm in California, so yeah, I'm giving my West Coast friends a little treat today. I'm on their time. So, you know, you guys are watching this on replay tomorrow. You're watching it on replay. Smash the like button because I'm taking one for the California team, and I love it here, and I don't want to leave. Don't make me leave. Please don't make me leave. Please make me leave. Yes, I did not think that PowerPoint presentation, by the way, in the prosecutor's opening was very good. I mean, I'm all for a PowerPoint. You know that. We've seen other trials with PowerPoints, and I think, especially in closing, they can be very, very effective. I thought it was lame. I thought it looked like they were using like Microsoft, like, you know, slides from like, you know, the early aughts. Like, I was not impressed. I gotta be honest. I was not impressed with either. I don't think the prosecution did a great job. I don't think the defense did a great job. I'm spoiled. I'm used to Alan Jackson. I'm used to David Unetti. Those are my guys. I just can't get into any of these other people. No on the opening. Everybody says, follow Wendy on the stand. All right, Sandy Thompson. All right, Sandy. That's what Sandy said we'll do. I think what we should do is this. Do we know what time they do lunch every day? Because when I get back on the East Coast, it'll be easier. Because right now, it's like a 6 a.m. wake-up call to get on and do the Adelsons. And I haven't bought my return ticket yet, so I don't know when I'm going home. Maybe I go home tomorrow. Maybe I not. Maybe Monday. But I do have to take my other daughter to college next week. Thank God they don't have to both go to their colleges at the same time. Anybody out there, are you a parent that does both? Like you do it all? You're the dad and the mom, you do it all? It's hard. And it's hard when you have twins because you can't be in two places at once. So thank God they're on different schedules, and one goes back late August, one goes back in September. So thank you. Bring Tom back. Tom back for what? For Adelson? Karen Reed was framed best opening statement ever, says Carrie B. I know, Portia, I am a saint. I'm a saint. I have 5 kids. I do it all. I've done it all. No matter what I accomplish in my life, how successful I am, how much money I make, the best compliment anyone can ever give me is, your kids are amazing. Your kids are amazing. No, I did not go to the Niner game. I went to Dave Matthews last night at the Forum. But the Chargers are in my hotel, the entire team. They're here. Training camp, they're on my floor. I got off on my floor. There's a cooler, like a big refrigerator right next to the elevators where you get off. And it says, I posted a picture on my Instagram if you follow me on Insta. It says, for Charger players only. And there's like a bunch of Gatorades in there and a bunch of waters. And every time I go by, I help myself. So what are they going to do? But then the front desk clerk told me, he's like, I think there's cameras in the hallways because they have to like keep an eye on the players. They all got to be here, even though they all live in LA. I don't know. It's weird. It's because where I am is close to SoFi or wherever they play. I don't really know. But I guess they're in training camp. So there's that. I'm here all times. I feel so weird because I wasn't on the air for like a couple of days. And I'm like, did everyone forget about me? Did anybody miss me? Are you guys going to watch if I come back? I'm not covering Donna Adelson right now. Everyone else is watching Donna Adelson and covering it. And I have to think about how I feel about it because I can't commit to the whole entire thing. The AG needs to be fired. She's on unpaid leave right now, Jay Santos. Unpaid leave. Oh, they played in Santa Clara earlier today. Thank you, Marjan, because that's why they weren't here for breakfast, because I was downstairs eating breakfast with my laptop, waiting to meet some players. That explains it. That explains it. Oh, I'm glad you missed me. Thank you, Helena. I missed you too. I know it was boring me too. I had to pinch myself to stay awake, to be honest. Just did. Oh, is it Olivia? What are you doing awake? I'm in California. What's your excuse? Olivia's here. What are you doing? It's 2:22 a.m. Those are angel numbers too, right? 2:22. I'm in California. It's only 11:22. I know I feel a little bit lost without the county retrial, but if Alan Jackson is doing a Howie Carr interview on Thursday, something's happening. I'm gonna diligently check Pacer every single day, and I'm gonna wait for it. I'm waiting. Insomnia. All right, well, let me see what else I had on my list of things to talk about. I swear this is haunted, this place. I keep hearing this really weird noise. I don't know. Maybe there's chargers in the other room. I don't know. Maybe they're back from Santa Clara. Did they take a bus? I have questions. I didn't see a bus, so I don't know. Usually I'm up this late anyway, in New York time. Yeah, let's cover the Alan Jackson interview live, Danny. That's a great idea. Oh, so here was my question. My question was, thanks, Danny B. What time do they go to lunch in the Donald Adelson trial? Do they go to lunch at the same time every day? Do they go at noon or 1? This judge seems to be like he's running a tight ship over there. So I think every day we should do like a lunchtime stream, and that everybody from every other stream that's covering the trial live can come with us for lunch. This is a background. It's an El Decor background from the Panny. I'm in a hotel. The hotel's not that nice. To answer your question, Emma, so you can see like it says El Decor in the screen there. 1:15. They were back today at 1:15. So they go at 12:15. Does he give him a full hour? Christopher believes all of California is haunted. KT loves Judge Everett. Yeah, they do long court days. They go from 9 a.m. to 5:30. What? What the what? Olivia loves that idea. And then every day at lunch, we can like have fun and talk about all the other things that are going on in the world. All of the other things going on in the world. Lunch ladies. I know, isn't it lovely? It's El Decor. They made the room. Isn't it lovely? There's some like leopard print, like, and I wore a pink shirt to kind of match. And I got my new Dave Matthews hat. So the other things, oh, the New Hampshire murder-suicide. What is up with that? A woman who had been depressed and was posting like weird stuff on TikTok shot her husband and her 2 kids. The wife? I thought for sure it was going to be the husband, and the husband had like a prognosis of he was going to die soon. Did you guys? Oh yeah, Jimmy could come on. Jimmy could come on. Good idea. Yeah, so you guys didn't hear about that in New Hampshire? All right, I'm going to have to break the news to you if you haven't seen it. Why is it the New York Post that tells me everything? I learned everything from the New York Post worldwide. I thought it was going to be the husband too. Here, I'll prove it to you. A depressed mother fatally shot her husband and 2 young children before turning the gun on herself in their New Hampshire home, just days after her sharing her ongoing struggles in a chilling video on social media, authorities said. Emily Long, 34, who was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, allegedly killed her husband, Ryan Long, 48, and 2 children. They were 8 and 6. I'm not going to name them. In an apparent murder-suicide at their Madbury home early Monday in New Hampshire. And she let the youngest child live. Yes, left the 3-year-old alive. Both youngsters were shot in the head, while the family's patriarch, who reportedly was battling terminal cancer, sustained multiple gunshot wounds. The state's chief medical examiner concluded. Oh, and then the Post has a picture of the whole family, which I'm not going to show because that is so sad. But apparently the wife was like open about her struggles on TikTok and her depression, and she left the 3-year-old there upstairs in the bedroom. What? Explain that to me. Someone, anyone? Here's the mom. Posted a TikTok 2 days before cops made the horrifying discovery. The horrific discovery, it says. Here's their house in Madbury, New Hampshire. And a gun was recovered nearby, and all 4 were found in the house, but then the 3-year-old was upstairs. Couple's 3-year-old child was found alive and unharmed inside the slaughterhouse. And there's a picture of the whole family, which I'm not going to show out of respect for the family because nobody needs to see that. heartbreaking. I thought for sure it was going to be the dad, because I remember hearing when it broke what happened in New Hampshire, that 4 people were found dead in a home, but I did not know, never in a million years thought it was going to be the mother. That's unusual for family annihilators to be women, right? I learned that on Dexter and, Criminal Minds and other such shows like that. And here is another article that says, mom who killed family and murder-suicide boasted about being obsessed with husband and flying off the cuff. The New Hampshire mom who killed her husband and 2 kids in a shocking murder-suicide had said she couldn't imagine life without her cancer-stricken spouse, as she confessed to being prone to fly off the cuff while denying it was ever in a violent way. Does she mean fly off the handle? I think she's mixing her metaphors there. Emily Long, 34, made the ominous remarks in a lengthy TikTok video shared on her private account as she discussed being obsessed with her 48-year-old hubby, Ryan Long, and bracing for the possibility that he would die from his aggressive form of brain cancer. In the clip titled, "Watch Me Brag About My Husband for 7 Minutes," was that a TikTok trend? Emily gushed that the father of her kids was literally the best human on this planet and a phenomenally perfect man. Yikes. At one point, she rattled off the differences between the pair, acknowledging she was the more emotionally driven one in their relationship, while Ryan was like my perfect opposite. I'm very outspoken, very impulsive, emotionally driven. I don't take boundaries very well, and I fly off the cuff in not like a violent way, obviously. She laughed, adding that if I feel something, I'm going to say it. Sometimes it gets me into trouble. He's always the devil's advocate as much as it literally kills me. He's so thoughtful in his decisions. He's the most ethical human on this planet. Oops. Every single decision he makes is based on his code of ethics, she added in over-the-top tribute. As she continued to heap praise on her partner, the mom reflected on the life lessons he had taught her, including how to ask for help and the importance of being vulnerable. Oh, thank you, Ashley Lauren. It says on Friday, August 22nd, the court went on lunch break at 12:15. The prior day, the court recessed for lunch at 12:07, 1 hour lunch around 1 to 1:30 return. Okay, good. So every day we'll have an hour and a half long lunch, Adelson lunch stream where we talk about everything else. That sounds good. Thank you, Ashley Lauren, for looking that up. I think one of the things I'm going to miss is being able to show him how wonderful he's been to me, and he can enjoy that. I think that bums me out, she said in the video. Emily said she was heartbroken at the thought she'd no longer be able to trade bizarre stories and have him roast her. I'll show the kids. There's no point to this video except saying, yes, I feel sorry for myself and I'm scared about how my life is going to change and how hard it is going to be for me, she said in the clip. But I know how truly at the end of the day, I'm just so scared that all these wonderful things from this phenomenally perfect man who has given me more than I can ever thank him for might not be here to see all that. The video was among a slew of TikToks she posted the months leading up to Monday's shocking murder-suicide that shed light on her declining mental state, including one where she even admitted she needed professional help. Well, that's great. Wasn't immediately clear when Long posted the 7-minute clip, which has since been reposted by other users. The harrowing details continue to emerge just days after investigators say she shot her husband and her 2 eldest children, 8 and 6, before taking her own life at their Madbury, New Hampshire home. Early Monday, the couple's 3-year-old child, the lone survivor of the slaughter, was found alive and unharmed inside the house. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, the mental health crisis is real. Thank you, Lola the Good Dog, for your 5. About your suggestion of watching Alan Jackson do his opening in Phil Spector and Kevin Spacey. We could do both. That's a great idea, Lola. Because, who can't watch Alan all day long? I can. Deanne says, check out the trial Georgia versus AJ Scott. Officer on duty driving 100 miles an hour, hit a car with 4 teens. I've been watching it instead of Adelson. So sad. When did it already start? It already started. think maybe every day we can just catch up on everything else that's going on. What do you think, Deanne? I don't feel like we need a live trial right now, especially with my travel schedule and getting the twins back to college. It's so hard. And then when I cover live trials and I miss a day, you guys get very upset because when you go watch it somewhere else, you get kind of upset because, it's not the same. We're not all together. It's not the same. And I don't like to disappoint you because, you're my friends. There had been some rumblings that there was going to be a plea deal for Rex Heuermann. That has been, the kibosh has been put on that. Ray Tierney says, absolutely not. There's no plea deal for Rex Heuermann. Oh, this thing about the Kentucky judge, Kevin Mullins, that got shot by the Kentucky sheriff, Nikki Steins. Crazy. Brian Enton did a story where he interviewed a woman who said that she had sex with the judge a million times and he was running a brothel out of his courthouse. And we knew about this because when I first covered the shooting, I dug up that federal lawsuit that Sheriff Steins had been, either he was about to be deposed in the federal lawsuit involving the prisoners and what was going on with the ankle monitors. Remember, it was the ankle monitors. I feel like if the Chargers are sleeping, I can't talk loud. Brian Enton did an interview with a woman who said that she was like having sex with the judge all the time in his chambers and that she did it a lot because she was always in trouble with the law and she was having sex with him to get out of being in trouble with the law. And a lot of other women did too. And there was a whole thing going on. And remember, we were like, why did the sheriff just shoot him like that? Because the sheriff had said something like, they're trying to kidnap my wife and daughter. Yeah, there's a lot more to that case in Kentucky, I'll tell you that much. And if you haven't watched the Brian Enton interview, let's watch that together because it's wild. And let me know if you think the woman is credible. I think she's credible. She just wanted to get out of trouble. She seemed very credible to me. That is wild. There was also a hearing on that case last week, the sheriff, Mickey Steins. So we could go do that. That is another thing that I have on the list of things to do with you. And we still have to, I'll do a deeper dive into this Gregory Groom who was arrested in the murder of pregnant 18-year-old Kylie Montero, who was missing since August 7th out of Rehoboth, Massachusetts. She was a couple of months pregnant with his child. I think he's only 22 years old. And he was arrested, was he only yesterday? After he allegedly confessed to murdering her. And it was her sister who brought him in to surrender. The story is wild. And I have the police report on that, but it deserves its own show or like more time than I can give it tonight. Kylie Montero was 11 weeks pregnant. She went missing on August 7th. Gregory Groom, who is the ex-boyfriend, was arrested on Tuesday and charged with murder after he allegedly confessed to killing his 18-year-old ex-girlfriend. Police say Groom led them to her body. The night of Montero's murder, she allegedly texted her sister that she and Groom had been in a fight because she was staying with him on and off, saying, if I die, it was Greg. That's a horrible story. Oh, and Penny McGee did an interview. I feel like we should watch that right now. You guys got time? You got time to watch the Penny McGee interview with me? It's so good. Channel 7 did it. Remember, we watched Penny McGee have a bench trial with Judge Beverly Cannoni, and she was acquitted. Let's watch Penny McGee's interview because she did an interview with Boston 7 last week. Let's suffer through the commercial. Yes, yes. Yes. Cherie, thank you. I have to sit through a minute-long commercial before they'll let me watch the video on Boston 7. Thanks for nothing. Yes, Bethesda House, where she was staying. Jess Machado is doing, she's doing an expose on it, and I did catch some of that when I was on my flight. But I want to do that in a separate show. But thanks, Cherie, for sending it to me. Because I have the police report. I have a bunch of documents on it. But right now, let's watch Penny McGee's interview with Channel 7. After this commercial. Okay, hold on.
Charged with his death.
Tonight, she's sharing her story for the very first time with 7 Investigates. Here's Samantha Kummerer.
Penelope McGee stands in the sunlight. But just months ago, she was under a cloud of suspicion, accused of killing her ex-husband.
Although I got exonerated, there's still another story to tell.
McGee was charged with involuntary manslaughter after her ex-husband, Andrew Savitz, collapsed during an argument. On January 28, 2020, McGee went to talk to him at his Brookline home.
Started out just as a conversation and then it got heated.
So heated that their daughter, who was there at the time, called 911.
Stop! You guys need to stop!
Then
Remember Zuzi Savitz, who obviously hated her mom and blamed her for the breakup of the marriage. But what they didn't play just now was the part of the tape where Zuzi says, Dad, stop, Dad, stop. And Penny McGee says there's much more to this story. And I think she's getting ready to tell her story. And I hope she tells her story to me. Because what you didn't know is that I was talking to Penny McGee during the trial. And so I'm going to send her an email and see if she wants to do a longer interview, because this is only 3 minutes long.
Savitz suddenly passed out.
I turned around, he was on the floor. And then my daughter came downstairs and I immediately started CPR.
I think he stopped breathing!
Police arrested McGee for assault. Savitz died at the hospital.
I couldn't put two and two together that they would think that, I assaulted him. I felt that they had me pinned guilty right then and there.
The Massachusetts medical examiner said Savitz died after his heart went into an abnormal rhythm, a condition called cardiac dysrhythmia. The autopsy report also listed cardiovascular disease and diabetes as contributing factors. But the manner of death was ruled a homicide. And McGee believes that set the case in motion.
Absolutely, 100%. I'd be telling a different story.
Yeah, that set the case in motion. But what also set the case in motion was Andrew Savitz's two brothers, who are very, very wealthy and well-connected. And they made this, I'm sure they strong-armed somebody into prosecuting this. And this was Norfolk County also. Norfolk County. She was on trial for manslaughter. We watched her be acquitted by Judge Bev Canoni on a bench trial. And Larry Tipton was her attorney, and he was amazing. And she was shocked that he took her case. And he did, as a public defender.
That who you blame at this point?
Absolutely, 100%.
In court, the medical examiner stood by her ruling, saying Savitz wouldn't have died that
Oh,
day,
wait,
not
stop.
for the argument.
Sorry, I got so excited to see Clerk Jim and Judge Canoni that I took us back here. Here we are. If you guys didn't watch this trial with me, go back and watch it. It wasn't very long, but it was unbelievable that they were trying this woman for manslaughter. Her husband died during a verbal argument. And this is the medical examiner. She's a wackadoo. You want to talk about a whack job, Emmy? That's her.
In court, the medical examiner stood by her ruling, saying Savitz wouldn't have died that day if not for the argument.
He was angry in the presence of another person. Therefore, this becomes death at the hands of another.
A spokesperson for the medical examiner's office told 7 Investigates the autopsy followed national forensic standards and said it is the role of the court, not the medical examiner, to determine legal responsibility.
Death at the hands of another doesn't mean I literally have to put my hands on you.
Penny
Forensic
McGee.
pathologist Dr. Jan Gorniak was not involved in this case, but says a homicide.
This was the case of Penny McGee. I have a trial playlist on it. Go back and watch it, D. It was amazing. My laptop is dying because I got so much shit plugged into it, so I'm going to have to jump off here in a sec, but let's finish this.
Homicide ruling on an autopsy only means another person played a role in the death, not that a crime was necessarily committed.
Our definition is different. It's not synonymous with murder.
Legal expert Ann Bremner believes prosecutors put too much weight on the autopsy.
Shouldn't have been prosecuted. You don't just rely on that word in an autopsy report to prosecute a case. She didn't give him a heart attack. They can't prove that beyond a reasonable doubt.
An independent grand jury issued an indictment. At trial, prosecutors argued McGee was the aggressor and knew about Savitz's health conditions.
She was yelling and screaming, hitting and shoving him. His heart couldn't handle the stress of the altercation, and he collapsed and passed away.
But ultimately, McGee was found not guilty.
That was a great acquittal.
Now, as McGee tries to move forward, she says the damage can't be undone.
But I just don't want this to happen to somebody else again, because I feel as if 5 years of my life were stolen from me.
McGee has filed complaints with the governor and the attorney general against the office of the chief medical examiner. A forensic oversight board is also reviewing her case. For 7 Investigates, I'm Samantha Coomer.
And coming up here from the night.
That was wild, huh? All right, I can see I'm lagging, so I'm going to jump. Make sure you have your notifications set. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you do all the things that YouTube likes, and make sure you're still subscribed and you have the notifications set, because I want to do something tomorrow. I just don't know what it's going to be yet, because I don't know where I am or when I'm leaving or anything like that. But my laptop is dying, so I got to go. Stay cool, stay kind, stay classy, stay cupcakes. I love you all so very much. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And for those of you on the East Coast, I hope you get some sleep soon. But here on the West Coast, the best coast, it's not even midnight. Peace, everybody. See you soon. I have the charger. I just got too much stuff plugged in. I don't know. It's always something. Good night, everybody.